Desire Decorum, Book 2, Chapter 16, The Final Vow. It's the day of your wedding to Duke Richards, and Queen Charlotte has just demanded to hold the wedding proceedings. I said stop at once. Queen Charlotte, I'm saved. My grandmother really wasn't joking about getting the evidence into the right hands. Evidence? What do you... Dowager Countess Dominique has brought some urgent information to my attention regarding this union. Indeed, this entire affair is nothing more than a sham. However, I wish to hear it directly from the source. Lady Bella, would you care to enlighten me? Nothing would make me happier, Your Majesty. He turned to the Duke with a victorious smile. Let me start by saying you're an incredible cad. Duke Richards has been orchestrating a treasonous plot to unseat Prince Regent and take the throne for himself. The crowd draws in a sharp collective breath. Oh! The audacity! How dare you accuse me of such maleficence? I hope you understand the severity of these allegations, especially against my husband's kin. Please, I must hear everything, you know. Yes, I understand better than anyone how serious this is. Miss Dally, the evidence. Briar rushes to your side, pulling the pamphlet you discovered on the road to Groveshire from her reticule. Take him down, Bella. Listen to me, everyone, and I will prove Duke Richard's treachery. Handwritten pamphlet. My friends and I were attacked on the road from Edgewater to Groveshire. Our assailants dropped this. You hold out the paper for the Queen and your audience to see. Queen Charlotte takes the pamphlet and reads it carefully. I see. What is it? A pamphlet maligning the Prince Regent. Someone was trying to stir unrest among the commoners. You can't possibly tie that to me. I couldn't when I found it, but I still have more to show you all. Duke Richard's journal entry. Lady Grandmother, would you show everyone the pages from Duke Richard's private journal? With pleasure, my dear. She plucks the papers from her reticule and presents it to the crowd. Her reticule fills a lot of shit, apparently. How did you get... This shows the Duke wanted to marry a low-born girl like me as a pawn to gain the trust of the common people. He explicitly writes that, without me as his wife, he would not be able to overthrow the Prince Regent. But Lady Bella is no one's pawn. Lady Bella is full of lies. This doesn't belong to me. You just asked how did she get it. No? Then perhaps we should compare it to your other correspondence. The hand is identical. If all this isn't enough to convince you, Your Majesty, we have one other. The Duke! He's making a run for it! Oh, don't you play coy now. You turn to find Duke Richards bolting for a door near the altar. You won't have me! Trip him. No, you don't. Quickly stride forward, because apparently you can walk faster in that dress than he can in a suit. You stride forward and thrust your foot into Duke's path, and he goes tumbling to the ground. Oh! One of the Queen's guards instantly rushes up, pulling Duke Richards to his feet and restraining him. Let go of me. Will you truly believe this mad woman over Duke Tristan Richards? Duke Richards thrashes against his captors, but they drag him back to the front of the altar. The Queen shakes her head and returns her attention to you. Now that's finished. I believe there was another piece of evidence. Your grandmother produces the Duke's signet ring from her reticule and hands it to you. This is the Duke's signet ring, the one he used to seal the pamphlets he circulated. I've never seen that ring in my life. Surely it's some trick of this little witch. If so, then why is it engraved with the initials R.K. for Richards and Carlington? You take hold of Duke Richard's hand with a triumphant smile and slide the ring onto his finger. Duke Richard's signet ring. A perfect fit.
This proves nothing. This evidence is fabricated. All of it!
Trump, calm down. I have heard quite enough. Duke Richards, you are hereby stripped of all your lands and titles. You will be taken to London at once to stand trial for high treason. Good. Let him hang. Lock him in the London Tower. Nah, let him hang. Readers like him don't deserve to live. I would take your suggestion under advisement, but no matter, he is Mr. Richards now.
You can't take my title from me. It's my birthright.
I am Queen of England, Mr. Richards, and I can do as I please. We did it. We actually got him. Yay. With just one piece of evidence. The former Duke Richards closed his throat, tugging against the guards holding his arms.
All right, I've been caught, and I freely submit. But is this wrangling truly necessary?
Perhaps out of deference to your familiar connection to my husband, unhand him. As soon as Duke Richards is free, he lunges for Queen Charlotte. Producing a knife from his jacket pocket, he grabs the Queen and presses the knife to her throat. Oh! Don't hurt her. He begins pacing backward towards the chapel doors, dragging Queen Charlotte along with him.
Now, no one will come to any harm as long as I'm allowed to leave in peace.
How many pieces would you like to leave in? You see movement from the corner of your eye, and suddenly Mr. Harper is dashing for the Queen and her captor. Unhand her Majesty.
Stay back, or I swear I'll spill her blood.
Mr. Harper. Without a moment's hesitation, Mr. Harper grabs Mr. Richards' knife and tosses it several yards down the aisle. Mr. Richards turns to run, but the redcoats make haste and quickly apprehend him.
Get your hands off me, filthy commoners! Royal blood flows through my veins!
And you were about to spill royal blood all over the floor. Queen Charlotte takes a moment to collect herself, then turns to Mr. Harper, who instantly kneels at her feet. Your Majesty, if I acted too brashly and harmed you in any way... What is your name? His name is Luke Harper. Luke Harper, for your bravery in defending your queen on this day. She unsheaths a saber from his belt and delicately places the flat of the blade on his right uphold, then to the left. I dub thee Sir Luke Harper, Knight Commander of the most honorable military order of Bath. You may rise. I am humbled, Your Majesty. I can think of no one else more deserving. You have elevated a most honorable and heroic man, my queen. Sir Luke, you will also be granted lands befitting a man of your new status. Give him Carlington. Oh my, this is surely a dream.
This is all very well and touching, but there is another who should be taken into custody. Lady Bella. She would fool all of you, but I know she's plotting with the Duke.
What is all this? Countess Henrietta is a lying snake who only wants to claim Edgewater for herself.
Excuse me, I only mean to excuse your treason. But if Edgewater falls to my son as a result, who could complain?
Countess Henrietta, cease this nonsense.
Nonsense,
Unless you can produce evidence, I have no reason to believe Lady Bella was involved. My friend Dowager Countess Dominique, whom I trust, assures me that Lady Bella was highly distressed during her engagement. Lady Grandmother, you're friends with the Queen? We have much in common in our youth, as foreign brides and political marriages. We were kindred, even before we shared a language to express. However, Henrietta is right about one thing. There is another who should be arrested today. It's true, I may not be able to prove all the Duke's allies complicit, but there is one man. Cosman, Hayward, and Willowsby, I don't care. A man second only to the Duke in terms of villainy and influence. Sir Gideon Payne. You point to a seat, and it's empty. He's gone. But how? He can't have gone because he can't be gone because he can't have been here. Sir Gideon Payne was exiled from England years ago. Besides which, he isn't mentioned in any of the documents. He escaped somehow. I doubt that's the last England will see of Sir Gideon. He's still dangerous, and even without his cohort. Mr. Richards, can you confirm or deny Sir Gideon's involvement in your scheme?
I won't provide any ammunition for your trumped-up case against me.
The truth will come out. Indeed, and if Sir Gideon is involved, he will see the Crown's justice. However, Lady Bella, for saving the lives of myself and my family, I would like to thank you by officially declaring you Countess Bella, Mistress of Edgewater Estate. Your Majesty, my father would be so happy. You offer the Queen a low curtsy, but your eyes flick to Mr. Sinclair. He beams at you, glowing with pride. Thank you for your diligent service to the Crown. Now, guards, take Mr. Richards away. As you watch as the two redcoats drag Mr. Richards down the aisle and out the front doors of the chapel, he shouldn't even be called Mr.
I'll have you ruined for this, Lady Bella. Mark my words.
That's it? You don't want to say any final words to him, Bella? Why would I want to? Why? What do you think, I was truly in love with the man? Oh, I have plenty of words for him. He's no threat to us anymore. You could tell him exactly what you think of him. I suppose there won't be another chance. Hopefully, I never have to lay eyes on him again. Precisely. I know a few things I'd like to say. Come to think of it, I would also like to give that oath a piece of my mind. Then how about this? All of us can go and give Mr. Richards the send-off he deserves. What do you say? No. Why would I spend 20 diamonds on this piece of crap? No, I don't want to spend even one more second in that man's presence. I say good riddance, Mr. Richards. It's certainly big of you. I would have had the guards hold Mr. Richards while I socked him in the stomach. I would have socked him between the legs, but I would rather make up for lost time with you, Mr. Sinclair. Somehow, I can't bring myself to argue with that. You glance around at the guests still waiting in pews, shifting uncomfortably. You hear a heavy sigh from the dais.
Well, this has been rather a disappointment.
I would argue quite the opposite, seeing as I'm not married to a traitor.
I only meant I was looking forward to joining two souls in holy matrimony. Ah, hell, it would have been devoid of all joy without love.
Mr. Sinclair places a hand on your arm and gently pulls you aside. He subtly gestures towards Briar, whose gaze shifts longingly between Mr. Woods and Mr. Mulcaster. I have an idea. There can still be a wedding today. You're suggesting that either of them would marry Miss Dally, and I accidentally clicked because apparently if you touch the black screen now, it automatically processes. I know she would, and no one is more deserving of such happiness. But which would be her better match? You know her better than anyone, my Bella. If any soul has the answer, it's you. What do you think? Cement Briar's relationship with either one to attend their wedding. Choose carefully, as this will be the last chance to affect Briar's. Like I care, Like I care. Stay out of it because it's her goddamn relationship. It's a kind thought, Mr. Sinclair, but I think she needs to make this choice herself. It may take some time, but she'll discover what's best, eventually. As you say, my beloved, it was only a thought. He turned back to Bishop Monroe. Perhaps a celebration would cheer you up, my lord. Food and libations await in the upper assembly rooms. I would wager the reception will be a great deal more enjoyable than if there had been a wedding today. Yes, we have a victory to celebrate instead. It would have been a shame to let Mr. Richard's hard-earned money go to waste. I would have said it would have been a shame to let food go to waste, but night has fallen by the time you and your guest arrive at the upper assembly rooms. You and Briar stand beneath the balcony surveying the festivities. I suppose Mr. Richards can throw an enjoyable party, just as long as he doesn't attend. You should make your rounds. I'm sure everyone is dying to talk to you. Yes, my hostly duties await, though I don't mind tonight. Briar makes for the refreshments as you survey the gathered revelers. Who do you want to talk to? Let's start. Mr. Chambers and Miss Holloway. Lady Bella must feel so embarrassed. This catastrophe of a wedding day will be all anyone can talk about for months. Catastrophe? Certainly not. Why should I feel embarrassed to have saved the lives of the royal family? Surely you're just jealous of being upstaged by an uncultured commoner. Why, And Miss Holloway, it's Countess Bella. Ooh, God, that's gotta burn. Miss Holloway fumes for a moment, her mouth open as if to speak, but merely huffs and flounces away. I don't often wish others ill, but I'm tempted to make an exception for Miss Holloway. You, on the other hand, I am thrilled to see. I wanted to congratulate you on your surely impending consensual nuptials. You're too kind, Mr. Chambers, but to be honest, I'm not sure the future holds for me and Mr. Sinclair. I've been so focused on preventing the wedding that we haven't determined what would happen next. From how he speaks of you, I'd wager I already know. If anything does change, you'll be the first to know. Let's go to Mr. Harper and Viscount Westonleigh.
My fiancée and I are planning a far more conventional wedding than this one.
Aye, my lord, it would be difficult not to.
She is not difficult. She's perfectly demure and ladylike.
Apologies, my lord, I meant no offense.
It just seems you are bent on offense.
Relief washes over Sir Luke's face when he sees you. Am I interrupting something, Sir Luke? You are, thankfully. Sir Luke, it'll take me some time to get used to that. To think a man like me a knight and a landowner. Well, I'm not the most conventional countess, but here we are. But you're a pioneer. I'm still uncertain how to feel about all this. It's a rather radical lifestyle change and not anything I could have expected. I've never known you to back down from a challenge, sir. I've never faced anything quite like this. How am I to run my own holdings? We'll learn together. You have to give me a tour of your lands as soon as possible. Aye, it would be my pleasure. As soon as I get the lay of it.
The bay with splits? What was there some urgency I'm unaware of?
No, I said the lay of it.
The way to sit? Why, there are many ways, I should think.
Honestly, Sir Luke, it's probably not worth the effort.
How rude! If you don't wish to speak with me, I will burn you with my presence.
He stomps away across the room. I feel I ought to apologize. I don't think offending a viscount is any way to enter society. Good luck with that, sir. Miss Parsons and Prince Hamid. She looks quite ravishing, don't you say? Miss Parsons and Prince Hamid break into smiles and applause as you approach. Our heroine has arrived.
Watching you list off Mr. Richard's transgressions was magnificent, my lady. An inspiration.
It felt pretty spectacular, I must say, especially the part where he was dragged off in shackles. But it wasn't a total victory. Sir Gideon got away. So he did, but this plot has been foiled. How else could he hope to prop up his king?
And he is still banished from England without the Duke to hide him.
He may have his freedom, but he lost any chances to become the puppet master behind the throne. You make some good points.
What are we doing? This is a celebration. You've earned at least one evening of carefree revelry with your friends.
It seems I came to the right pair to be cheered up. You surely did. Now go on and celebrate. To pause for a moment regarding Prince Amin. What of you, Prince Amin? Now that your goal of helping me is complete, will this be the last we see of each other?
I would find that unbearable. No, in fact, I'm beginning to think England has a great deal more to offer me.
What more could you want while in our company? Miss Parsons is right. I'm pained that you could require more than our conversation.
That's just it. Nowhere else in my travels have I forged such instant friendships nor experienced such adventures. I think I shall remain here for a while.
Those words bring me such relief, Your Highness. Very much agreed. I should find life far more dull without you around. Let us toast this happy news with the finest brandy. You chuckle as they head off towards the drinks. And finally... No, I'm kidding. Mr. Sinclair and Miss Sutton. Did you see Miss Holloway's face? Oh, or Countess Henrietta's face? Or Viscount Westonleigh's face?
Yeah.
I wonder if Viscount Westonleigh even knew what was happening, or if he was just playing along. I take it you enjoyed the day's events, Miss Sutton. Such a horrible business. How will you ever get over the sheer drama of it? As long as I'm free of Mr. Richards, that's all I care about. Dawning realization blooms across Miss Sutton's face, and she breaks into a beaming smile. But I was there!
Yes, we all were.
No, I was there! I will be at the belle of every ball with my first-hand account. Okay. We're all gonna get real sick of hearing it real quick. Miss Sutton prattles on as you and Mr. Sinclair share a look and lean in to whisper to him. Sir, your patience is saint-like.
The secret is tuning her out entirely. A few hmms and occasional really is all it takes.
An ideal conversation partner for you, then. So how does it feel to be free of the former Duke?
It's a weight lifted from me. The torment of which I wasn't previously aware. Thank you, Countess Bella, for putting the final nail in his coffin, so to speak.
It was my pleasure, as you're more than aware.
You briefly turn your attention back to Miss Sutton, who is blissfully unaware of your whispered conversation.
No bachelor will be able to resist my...
Go, I'll keep Miss Sutton from talking anyone else's ear off. And my lady, you were spectacular back there.
Make your way towards the buffet, where you find your grandmother speaking with Queen Charlotte. They both smile as you approach. Ah, Countess Bella, your grandmother and I were just discussing you. All good things, I hope. We were on the subject of your composure during the ordeal of me being engaged to a traitor. Your behavior was entirely understandable, given the circumstances. I hope that with all this behind you now, you can finally come into your own as Countess of Edgewater. And one day you will wear the Edgewater jewels with pride and grace befitting them. You were unladylike during your engagement. What? Oh my, what? Oh, you know what? I'm not even gonna say anything. Oh. Yes, Lady Grandmother, I will make Edgewater proud. Now, I must away. I've lingered in Bath long enough, and I should return to London. I do have one thing to ask of you, though. Anything, Your Majesty. When you have a proper wedding, don't neglect my invitation. With a sweep of her skirt, she's gone, followed by her guards. Bye! You turn to your back to your grandmother. I'll show you unladylike, bitch! Bella, my dear, I'm sorry I didn't arrive sooner. I forgive you, Lady Grandmother. For that, but not getting me into the mess in the first place. You have done the least possible amount to fix your mess. That hasn't earned you goodwill in my eyes. Besides, you probably only did it to ensure and secure Edgewater, which is now in my hands. Bella, in deference to Father's memory, and as you are my last living blood relative, I won't cast you out. You didn't forgive your grandmother in the end. You're right. After what they just said to me, all it did is rehash shit up. This could have gone over well had you people not mentioned it. But you are no longer my family. I'm disappointed to hear that, but I won't push you, if that's how you feel. You was about to say something else, but you're interrupted by Briar, thank you, beckoning you to the other side of the room. Pardon me, Lady Grandmother. Why, Briar Dally, you look free as a bird tonight. That's because we are free. My cheeks hurt for smiling so much, and the best part is still to come. What could possibly top Mr. Richard's arrest, or my royally confirmed hold on Edgewater? That's just it. You're Countess of Edgewater now, and free to marry who you please. Even Sir Luke is suitable, now that he's been knighted. Yes, 'cause God forbid you married him before now. I don't know, Briar. After everything, don't you think it's best to wait? What? No! You have 4 good-hearted people who would die for you, and you want to wait to marry one of them? I don't want to. Just, wouldn't it be best? What would be best is for you to follow your heart. And you're not my heart nor my conscience. Okay, go the f on, Jiminy Cricket. Gives you a probing look. But who do you want to be with? I know your mind hasn't wavered from Mr. Sinclair, but as your best friend, I must ask you one last time to be sure. Your eyes scan the room, locking eyes with several familiar faces. Do you wish to declare your intentions for... Choose carefully, as this is your last sooner to... Oh, me, there's a book 3. Okay, we need a drink for this. God, I wish I had some alcohol right now. Okay. Can I say no one? There's not a no one option? Mr. Sinclair. God, there's a book 3. Thank you, Pixelberry. You could have left us in mysterious, hopefulness of not having a book 3. Mr. Sinclair. It's always been Mr. Sinclair. Ah! I knew it! You're a perfect match in every way. Don't worry, at the beginning of book 3, they'll ask you again. You have to go talk to him now. I'll make sure no one notices you're gone. However will you manage that? Don't you think it's high time I learned to play pianoforte? I like Fortnite, but with a piano. You're far too good for me, Briar. You'll just have to repay me with all of the details. No. Give her a quick hug and then turn towards Mr. Sinclair as Briar calls for attention. I'd like to play a song for you all in celebration. I warn you, it's rather experimental. Voice along the general din of the pole fades as you reach Mr. Sinclair. Mr. Sinclair, I've been waiting for you to have a free moment. There's something I wish to discuss. Alone. I know a lovely place nearby that would serve us well.
Follow me. You and Mr. Sinclair slip through the ballroom doors and out into the streets of Bath. Can't wait to forget this goddamn place. After a short walk, you find yourself in a secluded park with an enormous hedge maze in the center. It's silent and still, but for the rustle of leaves and the twinkle of stars above, you meander down a moonlit path. Yep, looks really moonlit right there. This place is lovely, and it's so quiet. Yes, the quiet is quite welcome after such a momentous day. You must be a wellspring of emotions. Honestly, I feel more in love with you than before. Stop walking for a moment and hold Mr. Sinclair's gaze. This ordeal has only proven my love more true, more fierce than I ever thought possible. A love forged in uncertainty and tempered in heartache. Sir Gideon's in the bushes, isn't he? But ever stronger for him. We made it through together. You come upon a bench, and Mr. Sinclair gestures for you to sit. He sits beside you and takes your hand in his. Bella, there was a moment in the church where I truly thought you were lost to me, and it nearly killed me. Mr. Sinclair glances at the ground, draws in a deep breath, then meets your eyes once again. I don't know how I could have gone on if I lost you to Duke Richards. Mr. Sinclair's eyes darken, and you feel his hand tremble beneath your touch. I was truly afraid of what I might have done. I could barely contain my rage when I saw you on that altar.
They would have thrown you in prison.
But to save the woman I love, I wouldn't have regretted it in a single thing. Not if it meant you were safe from that vile man. You place your hands on either side of his face and turn him towards you.
Listen to me. None of that matters now. Duke Richards is gone. We get to decide what happens next. Not the Countess, Henrietta, not my grandmother, and certainly not Mr. Richards.
That's actually what I wish to discuss with you. Although these past few months have been demanding, like plotting and the Duke.
And the duel?
Yes, especially that. Even through it all, these have been the happiest months of my life. Because you were in them. I would have faced 100, nay, 1,000 or 1,000,000 or 1,000,000,000 Duke Richards if that's what it took for you to be by my side.
Oh, Ernest.
Ever since the Duke's ball, my feelings for you have only grown stronger. I gave you my heart that night and every day since. And if you'll allow it, I will leave it in your possession every day for the rest of our lives. I can only hope and pray your feelings remain the same for me. And so, for the second time, I must ask you. Mr. Sinclair slides off the bench, sinks down to one knee, flourishes a rose, and holds it out to you. Bang bang! It was a rose gun. My love, my sweet, my darling Bella. Will you marry me?
Ernest. My answer hasn't changed, my love. Yes.
You pull him to you and kiss him deeply, encircling his waist with your arms. You let the kiss linger for several blissful moments before breaking away to whisper in Mr. Sinclair's ear,
I love you, Ernest.
I love you too, Bella, with all that I have and all that I am. Mr. Sinclair's eyes twinkle as they flick to the arch of the foliage that serves as the entrance to the hedge maze. You know, I imagine everybody at the ball is too busy celebrating to notice our absence. We could stay a while longer if you like.
Oh, and what activities might we pass the time with?
I have a few ideas, starting with getting ourselves lost in the hedge maze. Once we reach the center, it will be as though our We are the only two souls in the world. So shall we venture into the unknown? Throw the hedge maze for Mr. Sinclair for a chance to consummate your relationship. This is your last chance, and shut the hell up. Quite expensive, Pixelberry. 30 diamonds. There's not even a bed to creak, okay? Return to the reception.
While that does sound wonderful, I want to get back and announce the engagement immediately. Before anyone else has a chance to arrange some secret betrothal behind my back.
I understand your caution. Soon enough, we'll have all the time in the world to spend together.
You twine your fingers with Mr. Sinclair's and lead the way back to the reception. You slip back through the heavy doors, and no one seems any of the wiser. Your disappearance. You pull Mr. Sinclair with you to the center of the room. Attention! Attention! I have a very important announcement to make. The room falls silent, and all eyes turns towards you and Mr. Sinclair. You smile giddily. Screaming, I'm getting married. I would like you all to know that Mr. Sinclair and I were engaged. I feel like doing this properly, not screaming like a 12-year-old in Fortnite when they lose. Mr. Sinclair wraps his arms around your waist as the crowd applauds. Yes, yes, yes! What happy news, my dear. Shut up. Briar rushes up to Mr. Sinclair, beaming. Tell me everything. Well, you see, while we're in the hedge maze with Mr. Sinclair and your friends occupied, you find yourself face to face with... someone not as bad as your grandmother. Seriously.
You may think you've won, but this is far from over. I haven't given up on Edgewater, so you'd better keep looking over your shoulder.
Hey, guess what? That necklace around your neck can be used for strangling you.
Countess Henrietta, I'm not afraid of you.
Well, you should be.
You open your mouth to retort, but you're interrupted by a knock on the main ballroom door. The crowd quiets as everyone looks towards it. Someone open it. Mr. Chambers opens the door. Gasps ripple through the crowd as a shadowy figure steps into the light. Wait, that...
You're supposed to be dead.
Oh, no. Surely I'm shocked. The appearance of a mysterious stranger could change everything, but will they be friend or foe? Why am I getting an Elementalist Book 2 vibe from this, where, oh no, someone appears and they have all this fame and fortune or some crap, I don't know anymore. Could it be? Hold on. Okay, so hold on. There's only two people shocked, right? It's Countess Henrietta, and it's Bella. I have a hypothetical. You ready? Okay. What about if it's her father? Seriously, he didn't die that night. He's been waiting in the wings, and we'll get Edgewater taken away. We'll lose our title by essence because we are no longer, the owner of Edgewater because he's alive and he's the male figure. He's the father figure of Edgewater, so we lose Edgewater. And then that sets us back because we no longer have propriety to our name, and we are not able to marry Mr. Sinclair, which puts another hiccup in it. And then some other bullshit starts with Sir Gideon and whoever else you didn't get, or some other evil empire group, or crap like that. Hey, yeah, I guess we'll see. So book 3. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you looking forward to it? Are you getting tired of this shit? Oh, let me know. Without further ado, at least we finally get a break for it. Remember, there's another terrible book coming up next week. Did you guys see it? With the ostriches? And the girl? And apparently she has powers to hear people's thoughts? Wonder how that'll work. Because if that's true, then we wouldn't need diamonds, would we? Wah, wah. Without further ado, thank you all for watching. You know my usual outro. Please remember to support the channel. And, hey, catch you all in the next video. Peace.